Welcome back to the Braai channel. Welkom terug by die Braai channel. It's officially September 24th, which means it's Heritage Day in South Africa, which means it's Braai Day. These are massive southeaster blowing in Cape Town, but that's not going to stop us. So we're going to go out and fire up the Weber gas braai and we're going to cook some meat. No, don't worry. It is Braai Day, so we're going to use proper kameeldoring or camel thorn, and we're gonna have a great time. So I'm gonna keep it pretty simple today. It is fairly late in the day already, so we're gonna do some sort of braai or traditional South African staples, I guess. So I've got some chicken thighs, chicken wings, a grass-fed rump from our friends over at Ryan Boone, and got some wors from our friends over at Ryan Boone, and I've just got some lamb from the local Chimichurri. Salad because we're healthy people. No, because I couldn't be bothered to make a salad myself. And then I'm gonna be making some chimichurri for the steak and the lamb, and then maybe a barbecue sauce for the chicken. So let's get started. The first two things I'm going to start with is the chimichurri, and then I'm going to season the steak because we want the flavors to sort of get to know each other with the chimichurri, and then in the steak we want that salt to penetrate deep down into the meat, so we don't just have a salty bite on the outside and it goes all the way into the meat and all that good stuff. So let's start with making the chimichurri. Let's keep it fairly simple. Bowl. Just gonna grab a handful of parsley. That washed off. I'm just going to do a rough chop here. Just want to get the leaves and get all of those stems off. Hi Ben. So the idea here is I just want to get a rough chop. I'm off the texture here, so I don't want to blend this. I'm not looking to make a puree. It's sort of about the consistency that you want. Just into the bowl. Grab some garlic. And we don't want the chimichurri to be too garlicky, so 1 or 2 cloves, and I know I can go a bit overboard with the garlic, but yeah, you don't want it to be garlic. So just keep it subtle. Garlic press. And then I've just got some basic smoked chili flakes and oregano. Just gonna eyeball this. Could also use fresh chilies, but I don't think we have any. I'm just gonna go in with a tablespoon of olive oil. It's a bit more than a tablespoon. Yeah, so you can measure this part out. I personally don't measure it out anymore. Just go by eye. So you want to coat all the herbs, but you don't want it drowning in there. Add a bit of a stir. And then for the acidity, red wine vinegar. Again, you could measure it out, but personally I don't. Good, so that's pretty much it for the chimney. You could add salt into this, like a pinch of salt, to bring out the flavors. I'm not going to. But we're going to put that inside and let all the flavors get to know each other and all that. And then we are going to season the steak up. Just going to pat that steak dry, get all the moisture off. So to season the steak, keep it simple here. It's going to use some salt, pepper, and just a little bit of crushed garlic. Press that in, flip, season the other side. And that's it. So you can put this off to the side now and let all of that salt do its job. And then for the chicken, I'm just gonna make a simple barbecue-ish rub. Yeah, it's gonna be salt, a little bit of black pepper, garlic powder, smoked paprika, MSG, about a tablespoon of salt, equal amount of smoked paprika. Could also use normal paprika if that's what you have, that's what you prefer. Half a tablespoon of MSG, i.e. salt on crack. Also going to add a little cumin into this, crushed garlic, half a tablespoon, and then just a couple of cracks of black pepper. I'm going to measure this out. I don't want this rub to be too pepper heavy. Goed. Give that a bit of a stir. Fantastic. And then just before I season that chicken, I just want to season the lamb. So I've just got some lamb chops and some lamb ribs. And all these get just a little bit of olive oil and some salt, black pepper, seisoen, die ander kant. Lamb is ready to go. And then for the chicken, and done for the chicon, just going to chop these wings up. No, you don't have to wash chicken. It actually spreads chicken juice everywhere. That's it. Let's get the chicken into a bowl. Tablespoon of olive oil. So using that as a bit of a binder to help this rub stick. And just gonna go in with a little bit of that rub. I will, like I said, be saucing these, so I don't have to be super salty. I think we're good. And those thighs, just gonna trim them up here. Good. Thighs are seasoned up. Chuck them in the bowl, the wings. And I'm gonna clean this board up, get all the chicken juice out of here, clean my hands. and then we'll be back for the last prep step. Reg, so, board is clean, my hands are clean, so don't at me in the comments. Because it is a live fire day, because the wind is the wind, I want to get all the prep work done first before I go outside, just so I can manage the fire and the fire doesn't die and all of that stuff. So I'm just going to make the barbecue sauce quickly for the chicken, and then also prepare some braai broodjies. So, barbecue sauce. So I'm going to use some ketchup as the base. Again, if you want to measure this out, you can. Wash your sister sauce. And give it that nice color. Apple cider vinegar for some acidity. Smoked paprika. Gotta have that MSG. A little bit of black pepper. Honey for sweetness. And that's it. So that's gonna go into the stove now on a very low simmer until everything's come together, and then our barbecue sauce will be ready. Reg, en nou onze broodjies. Make sure that knife is sharp. Yes, I am using high fiber whole wheat bread. And when we grate the cheese, I'm looking for this long tomato. Always season your tomatoes. And then just for me, a little bit of onion. And that's all she gets. Nadine doesn't eat onions. Shame. So she doesn't get any. Now I'm just gonna grab some butter. Steak is seasoned, lamb is seasoned, wors is ready to go, chicken is seasoned. Our barbecue sauce is just about done. And our braai broodjies. And our cheap salad. So yeah, let's grab a cold one and then let's get outside and let's go make fire. Cold one. Kom ons gaan maak 'n lekker vuurtjie. And so we got quite a nice little fire going now. Might throw a couple of extra logs on, just so we have a bit more coals, but kameeldoring is burning nicely. We'll let that burn down and then we'll throw the grid on and throw some meat on. Right, so it's been about another 40 minutes or so. I've added a few extra logs. Cleaned the grid already, so just gonna let these burn down and then we'll chuck some meat on. I think we've got a nice bit of coals now. I think I'm just gonna lower this grid to its lowest level here and then let's get some meat on here, man. Chicken. Get the lamb on this side. Just gonna continuously flip to make sure it doesn't burn. These kameeldoring coals are rather hot. I'm just waiting for those logs to burn down slightly more before I get that steak on. Yes, I am using gloves for this. Starting to see some nice color on that chicken. Starting to get some good color on that lamb now. We just lost a piece. That's okay. Let's get a quick temp check on that chicken. These wings are nearly there. We're looking for about 74 degrees instant. I'm using a ThermoWorks ThermoPen 1. So it gives me readings in 1 second. The good thing with wings and thighs is that you can go a bit further. Looks like that one's there. It's still got some way to go. And then obviously I'll sauce these either when they come off or I'll sauce them on the grill just so that the sauce can tack up a bit. I'm just moving them off to the side. Obviously the grid being steel does conduct heat quite well, so 7. You just don't want to get the thermometer too close to the bone because it's going to give you a false reading. 83, 85, that one's done. That one's done as well. One's still got some way to go. And let's just get a temp check on that lamb. It's pretty much there. I just want that connective tissue in the lamb just to break down a little bit more and get a little bit more color on there. Quick temp check on those drummies. That one's done. Check the other side. Yeah, that one's done as well. Just under 70. That one's pretty much done. On those thighs, 60, 50, 55, 54. Okay, so the thighs still have some way to go. And I think these are of lamb are now done. Okay, all my wings are done, so I'm just gonna leave them on the side there. And I'm gonna throw that steak on and the force as well, and I'll get those braai broodjies from inside. Right, got that force on now. Move these logs here. Let's get a quick temp check on that chicken. 68, 70, that one's closer, 61. Oh, that one's still in the 50s. Let it go, but I think I'm gonna get that steak on, and then maybe get those braai broodjies on as well. Get that with a little bit more butter. And these coals are still super hot, so I'm gonna throw that steak on. And now I'm just gonna time it. So I'm gonna do frequent flips of the steak. We'll turn it about every 30 seconds or so, just to make sure it cooks evenly. And we'll do that for probably, I'd say with this thickness, maybe 4 and a bit minutes. And then we'll check for temperature. Let's get a temp on that sausage. So I usually want this to be at about 71 degrees. How's my chicken doing? Another flip on that steak. Okay, that thigh is pretty much there. That one's still got some way to go. That one's there, and that one's still got some way to go. Start temping that steak now. Okay. Not the most even cut, but in the thickest part, still getting in the 30s. Vos. Still in 50s. Time for another flip. Just keep checking the temperature on the steak. So part of the steak is temping where I want it. Other part is not. I think this force is pretty much ready. Yeah. Just gonna move those coals away. Let's flip that steak again. Oh, that's nice. Let's just check our chicken. 72 on that one. And oh, okay, this one is pretty much done. Okay, I think we are just about ready to pull the steak. Don't want it to go too far. It's been about 6 minutes. Nou wag ons net vir ons braai broodjies en hierdie hoender. While that's going, I can just paste this chicken and then we'll refire that lamb and then we're pretty much done. So Now I'm just gonna baste this chicken with that barbecue sauce I made earlier. I just want that chicken to tack up quickly. That sauce. So I think that's pretty much as far as I'm gonna take it. So I'm gonna move this lamb back over just so that we can get some temp into that again. I'm gonna get this chicken off and we'll take everything inside. And we'll eat, finally. Reg, so that's it. Friday is pretty much done. Got a steak, a braai crease, barbecue chicken, Woolworths salad. Thank you, Woolworths. We got our lamb and our force, and then our chimichurri for the red meat. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think I'll end the video there. If you stuck around until now, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the spread that I've got here in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more fire cooked food, braai content, and catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.